Welcome back for another video. Allow me to introduce to you the worst bench boost of all time. So 77 points all out, which wasn't too bad, but on the bench everything went wrong. Can't help but laugh at this, so hear me out. Martinez conceding in both games. Alright, fair enough, pretty much expected. Isak blanking against Villa, and then of course Wan-Bissaka picking up an injury and missing out, not even in the squad after 30 straight starts before that. I mean, West Ham did concede, but you never know, maybe they wouldn't have conceded if he'd started. And then Burns scoring an own goal as well. I was at the pub in London with mates watching the game and I couldn't believe the own goal. Long-time subscribers of the channel will know that the bench boost has historically been the one chip that I've always nailed, but this season absolutely not. So yeah, 77 points all out then, small green arrow to around 14.5k. Tuesday night's games went pretty horribly as well, like Vardy and Rodgers blanking, they both got booked. Marmoush obviously 180 minutes across the two games, but he blanked. Very unlucky for triple captainers, since he did get the minutes at least. Not that Saka did anything, or Salah of course. I mean, all the popular captains blanked, didn't they? And then to round the game week off, Eze with a quality volley off a corner, albeit wiping the double Arsenal clean sheet for me. But yeah, some reprieve there I guess, for backing him over Munoz at last, especially after that missed penalty by Eze last game week. And Mateta with a brilliant chip finish from outside the box right at the death, having been benched for Palace as well. It took him all of 2 minutes to get on the score sheet, and then he got maximum bonus points as well. Let's have a look at some of the highs and lows sent in by you guys. Harvey up first, who says, I doubt you'll see too many worse. 50 points all out. You had Saka captain, and you had blanks from Areola, Sarr, Salah, Murphy, Isak and Marmoush. Honestly, great picks as well. It's just a brutal game week. Tom says, Mateta out of nowhere, and he got unlucky of captaincy. Yeah, Mateta with a goal and 3 bonus points right at the end there, which got Tom 97 points all out, or 93 after a hit taken. Smashed it. Jake Hill says, triple captain played well, and he threw in the facepalm emoji. Used a triple captain on Saka, who got 6 points all out, having blanked in both games of course, and only played 56 at 30 minutes. He didn't even make it to 2 points or a clean sheet point in that first game. CH Football wasn't the unluckiest of the scores sent in, but yeah, 63 all out, which was a large red arrow, he says. This one leapt out because he's dropped to 42nd in the world, so even at those highest ranks, of course it can still go wrong in some game weeks. I feel your pain. I hope you can bounce back next week. I mean, there's still 5 game weeks to go to try and win the whole thing. I don't know what your gap is to first now, but if it's still on, I wish you the best of luck. And then the last one, and there was only one winner this week, FPL Henners. I mean, that first half of that final game of the game week, surely one of the best of the whole season. He had Kirill, Eze and Trossard, all low owned, all scored in the first half, and he finished on 119 points, 119, absolutely crazy score. Fair play to Henners. Thanks everyone for sending in those scores. Now let's get into the free hit team for game week 34. In goal, I've gone with Pope, who's playing home to Ipswich. Newcastle favourites for a clean sheet in game week 34. 49.5% chance of a clean sheet places them top of all teams next game week. Wolves and Chelsea are next highest with a 43% chance. Wolves have got Leicester home and Chelsea have got Everton home. And then it's Liverpool, 39.5% chance against Spurs. So yeah, by far the biggest headache on the game week 34 free here is whether to include Murphy or Barnes, or even both, or go for neither. If you've got the free hit active, let us know in the comments what your triple up is. My back three is Aït-Nouri, Trippier and Sessegnon. The Newcastle triple up of choice feels like a really close call and it could have a big swing. Like if you go with no mids, then it gives you a great defence, and there is still some really good alternative midfielders, but if Newcastle smash Ipswich, which is very possible, then Murphy and Barnes have a good chance of being involved in the goals. Now, there is a bit of news I'm waiting on this week. Like if Cher misses out with a hamstring problem, then I might just limit myself to one Newcastle defender and then hedge a bit by adding one midfielder. Over the last 5 game weeks, Aït-Nouri has registered 1.9 expected goal involvement, which is top in the league among all defenders. In fact, 1.9 XGI is higher than Bowen and De Bruyne over that run, albeit Aït-Nouri's is weighted towards expected assists more than goals. But yeah, he's still top even if you go further back to like the last 8 game weeks on the expected data widget. So yeah, he's got to be in the team on a free hit versus an already relegated Leicester side. They've got 1 clean sheet all season as well, and one of the worst for expected goals. I talked about Sessegnon in the wildcard video. On a wildcard, I think Robinson makes a bit more sense, but on a free hit, like Sessegnon is a really fun 1 week punt. He's playing out of position as a winger recently, so as long as he starts, it's kind of a 2-5-3 formation this week technically. So the all-out attack chip is back in a way, and it's 2 chips active this week. And of course you've got the added benefit of clean sheet potential of Sessegnon if he starts, and he's facing the worst team this season. The worry is that Wilson's back from injury now. You'd imagine he doesn't come straight into the starting 11 though. I mean, Silva, he has lined up without Sessegnon and Wilson in recent weeks, so it's still possible that neither start. Like, he could use the likes of Traore or even Willian, which has happened once or twice in recent weeks. So it's not totally out of the question for Sessegnon to be benched. And Silva, to be fair, might want to shake things up after consecutive losses, so that's the risk. He'll definitely be involved whether he starts or comes off the bench, so there is always that risk of a one-pointer. Someone pointed out in the comments that his 56th minute sub in Gameweek 32 was actually an admin error by the 4th official, and it shouldn't have been him that was subbed off, it should have been Robinson that came off. So that would have been 3 games in a row that he'd started and got past 60 minutes for what that's worth. The midfield is Kluivert, Palmer, Salah and Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is a slight risk. I mean, over the last 16 games he's actually only been benched twice, but it has happened. In Gameweek 31, when they lost to Fulham, where he actually scored, and one game in double Gameweek 25, which was a draw against Villa. I mean, it's going to be a real buzz around this game. Spurs have got nothing left to play for in the league, and their priority is Europa League. Liverpool can win the Premier League if they just beat Spurs at Anfield. They're going to want to do it in a home fixture. It's Diaz's best season ever as well. 18 attacking returns already. Last season's 15 was his previous highest, so already 3 better with 5 games in hand. And he had 7 more starts last season than right now. Over the last 6 games, Diaz has created 5 big chances. No one's created more in the league. 25 chances created is highest in the league as well. Although he's not totally nailed, I don't think the slot takes any chances. Get your best 11 out, win it at Anfield before you face Chelsea and Arsenal. So with that all in mind, Salah captain. Salah's had 9 big chances over the last 6 game weeks, which is more than any midfielder. So despite the drop off, he's still registering some good underlying numbers. Hopefully as captain he'll be playing a bit more selfishly than usual as well to try and score in a historic match if they can win the league there. This game is going to mean everything to Liverpool and obviously the fans after having won the league under Klopp during lockdown without the joy of fans in the stands and a proper street parade. I think it's going to be a special atmosphere for this one, so yeah, I'm happy to double up on Liverpool attack versus Spurs. In this same fixture last season, Palmer scored 4 times against Everton at Stamford Bridge in a 6-0 win for a 26 pointer. Not expecting the same here. I mean, he was in the form of his life back then. It's just not clicked for him in the same way under Maresca for most of the season. Though regardless, it was always going to be hard to replicate that 23-24 campaign. 6 points next game he puts him on over 200 points for the season, which is still really impressive. I considered Mbeumo instead, who is missing here, especially after the 2 goals 1 assist last game week, though I do just about prefer Palmer home to Everton compared to Mbeumo away at Forest. Like Spurs, Man United have just got no motivation left in the league and we're expecting lots of rotation, whereas Bournemouth have still got a spot in Europe to fight for. I mean, depending on Champions League, Europa Conference League and the FA Cup outcomes, there's still spots in Europe up for grabs for teams further down the table than 7th place. Bournemouth are 8th currently, but they're only 1 point above 10th. So Kluivert's in the free hit team for that home fixture against Man United. And the question is Kluivert or Luis Diaz better than having one of Murphy or Barnes and then a different defender instead like Cucurella? After some pretty bad luck recently, I really hope to get this one right. Moving on to the front 3, which is Cunha, Raul and Isak. So there's a few question marks with the attackers here, like will Bellegarde miss out again for Wolves? His absence last game week saw Cunha back in the starting 11 for the first time in a while. If you're a Wolves fan, let us know below if Cunha would actually start if Bellegarde is back or not. We've heard rumours of Man United being heavily linked with Cunha, so I do also wonder how much motivation Pereira's got to play him if he's looking certain to leave anyway. I mean, Strand Larsen's a great alternative if there's any doubt, so I could still go there. Raul's also in the team, which is dependent on team news, so Muniz missed last game for Fulham with injury. I did read a rumour that Chelsea have been speaking to Muniz, and it came out the next day after the game, I believe, so I don't know if it's related to that, or it was actually an injury for the reason of him not being in the squad last game week. If Muniz misses out again, then Raul's an absolute lock, as he should be a bit better for minutes, he'll be on penalties, and he's up against Southampton as well. Again, Strand Larsen works great if Muniz is available, and I go double Wolves attack instead. I'm also considering Wood and Welbeck though. Isak needs no explanation, so let's move straight onto the bench, which is Sanchez and Mbumo, Trent and Robinson. I would absolutely love to squeeze Trent in if I knew he starts. I'm going to think that one over the next few days. I mean, at the end of the day, Liverpool are just way better when he's playing, and Slot might just go full strength, including Trent and Robertson, to secure the 3 points in the title. Though, I mean, which defender would miss out here if I was to start Trent? The Chelsea defence I think is viable on the free hit, like Cucurella and James. I've got Sanchez on the bench. Gusto picked up an injury, and if I recall, Maresca said it doesn't look good. So James could be an interesting choice as a one-week punt, but Cucurella is probably the more sensible choice. So let me know what you think of the team. I read every comment. Hit like and subscribe before you go. There's more FPL content coming before the deadline. See you soon for the next one.